I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Being willing is not enough. We must do. Leonardo da Vinci. And my friends, we ask you to do things, and that is 10 to 15 minutes each and every day charting these markets with us. We also ask you to practice trade as often as you can. If you always want something to practice trade, then consider becoming a Patreon supporter in the new year. 20 weekly vertical crossovers each and every week on the S&P 500. Those who know what we do, we talk about weekly vertical crossovers. Those are the big kahuna for us. It shows sea change in investor sentiment up or down. That is what we are always looking for, are those weekly vertical crossovers, and we find strong ones for you every week for you to practice trade. All of my up trades this last year that I did on those weekly vertical crossovers when we started them were successful. Now, again, we're not a stock calling service, we're an education firm. Just try it for yourself. See how well you can do. And again, you're only going to learn by doing. So it doesn't cost you anything, 10 to 15 minutes each and every day to be with us, to follow these charts. Listen to the trainings that we put in your show notes every day. If you're not getting our daily email, it's for free. Go sign up at chartingwealth.com. You can also sign up for the texting service. All of the instructions are in your show notes, plus the PDFs for the weekly market, daily market, and trade worksheets. Let's jump into these charts. Stocks up, bonds, gold, Bitcoin down. Let's start with the S&P 500. We did not have a weekly vertical crossover at the end of the week, but this week is starting off trying to cross over again. We'll see how this week meanders along, if it manages to reach higher highs, or if all of this is just dying. We shall wait and see just where things are going to go as this year starts. Up for the day, 0.58%. Now we look, the high for the day, 477.85. Last week, 479. So we've not hit a higher high. We have a green up candle that is forming. Could have a weekly vertical crossover, but as we've continued to talk about, this derivative oscillator is still negative. Is there anything to make the markets just buzz? I don't know. We'll wait and watch and see. We look at the the 2-day, and again, as we look at this, this is the Friday, Monday candle. It is completed now. What do we see? A slowdown in the up movement with this red open box candle. Price percent oscillator still heading up. Derivative oscillator still gaining upward momentum, but as you can see, not hit a higher high between these two candles either. We look at the half day and we see where things have popped up, slid along, and are just continuing to slide sideways. At the end, well, the beginning of the day, we had a crossover going down. Like we said, charts up just a little bit on the S&P for the day, but that derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum. Price percent oscillator went negative and is flat right now. So that's where we are with stocks as far as the S&P. We move on to the NASDAQ 100, the tech stocks. What do we see there? Same kind of thing, a slowdown in the up movement, small green candle, not the size of last week's yet. And again, not reaching a higher high yet. And we see the price percent oscillator still negative, derivative oscillator negative, losing a little bit of downward momentum. 2-day, we had that 2-day crossover back on the Wednesday, Thursday going up, but now this latest 2-day candle, red open box spinning top, slowdown in the up movement. Price is right there below the 2-day trend line. It's a pretty good trend line connecting pretty much 3 candles there. So we see the derivative oscillator still oscillating up. Price percent oscillator heading up a little bit. Look at the half day, same kind of thing. A sideways slide that has been underway for many, many days now. So are markets topped? Are they weakening? Are they getting ready to roll over? Don't know. We'll wait, watch, and see. Heck, we could have weekly vertical crossovers going up. But again, remember that derivative oscillator being negative, not crossing over at the same time, does not bode well. Let's move on to 20-year bonds down for the day, 2.63%. Big red down candle starting the week off, chopping over strong going down. Did not manage to be a crossover at the end of this last week, but this week pushing through looks like it might be the start of a strong downtrend. We'll see as the week moves along. Today, it crossed over going down back on Wednesday the 22nd. Derivative oscillator, price percent oscillator on both the weekly chart and the 2-day chart gaining downward momentum. We look at the half day. We can see where things had gone up for a day and a half, and then, of course, markedly down on Monday in the morning and afternoon, spiking over, going down on the price percent oscillator and the derivative oscillator, hammering down. So bonds definitely losing a lot of energy starting the week. Gold also losing good bit of energy, down 1.54%. Now bonds again down, just hammering down 2.63%. Gold itself, we see in gold where the prior 2 weeks we'd had some green up candles. This week starting off with almost a doji, a little red cross with a short wick on top, short wick on the bottom. Price percent oscillator positive but heading down. Derivative oscillator was positive last week, has gone negative to start this week off. Today, you can see again where the latest 2-day candle, now again this represents all that up move on Friday and then the down move on Monday. Price percent oscillator is flat, derivative oscillator positive, losing momentum. Green spinning top with price just above that 2-day trend line. Half day, you can see where we had 4 days of nice up movement, and then all of that just going away as things hammered down in the morning and afternoon. That crossover occurring right there about morning time on into the afternoon. Derivative oscillator going negative. Price percent oscillator spiking down. So gold losing a lot of momentum also after 2 prior weeks of up moves. What do we see with Bitcoin? Now, Bitcoin may have been bottoming. We were hoping that 50-period moving average line might actually be a floor, but we can see as the week starts off, that red down candle's pushing through it. Price percent oscillator heading down. Derivative oscillator looks like it's a little more than, it looks like it's going down also. I was thinking it might be a little flat, but well, it's close to just being the same. But we do see down movement and pushing. Of course, we look at the 2-day. We can see where things had moved down and trying to gain. And then these last 2 2-day candles, down movement. Price percent oscillator ever so slightly heading down. Derivative oscillator still losing downward momentum. Overall, though, Bitcoin still lots of downward pressure. Half day, we can see where things had moved down. Tried to move up there on Friday, and then, of course, losing that strong on Monday. So still lots of downward pressure in Bitcoin, in gold, and in bonds. Stocks trying to hang in there. That is where we are, folks, as we start the week. Thank you so much for being with us as we jump into this first full week in the new year. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.